Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me for a special episode of If Walls Could Talk. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Walls and Ceilings, and honored to have the opportunity to speak with JT Turner, the CEO of Gypsum Management Supply. JT, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely, Jill. Thanks for having me.
Most definitely. Well, JT, you've been at GMS now for about 4 years. Can you tell me about your background and what brought you to GMS?
Sure. So I spent 30 years with the ceramic division of Mohawk Industries. Originally, that was the Daltile Group, prior to being acquired in 2002 by Mohawk Industries. And I actually started with the Daltile Group, actually when I was in high school in the summer. So I stayed with that company all the way through 30 years. Eventually, I was running the ceramic division for all of the Americas, from Brazil through Canada. And then I was contacted to consider this opportunity. And, I always kind of turned things away. I really love Mohawk. I loved our culture there. I loved our ceramic culture in particular. But I was told that the culture at GMS was very much similar to that we had built up for all those really decades, I guess, at Daltile, and really based on service and very much on a check your ego at the door kind of an environment, and focus on doing what the customer needs us to do, and be a fantastic partner for both the supply base and the customer base, and do what we're supposed to do, which is supply that middle ground in between manufacturers and customers, and really help our industry grow by being better. And when I got here and I met the people, and I met one of the original founders, Dick Mueller, and I sat down with the CEO at the time, Mike Callahan, and we sat in this exact office that I'm in right here. We sat here for about 2.5 hours, and we just talked. And when I left, I realized that what I had been told about the culture was absolutely the case, that this would be a place that I would fit in. And so I decided to go ahead and take that leap and come on over as the CEO.
Oh, well, that's so exciting. I mean, that's a big change after 30 years.
It is. It was something that I hadn't really been considering. I had been planning on kind of just staying in the succession plan over at Mohawk. But again, CEO roles, publicly held CEO roles in particular, they don't roll around every day. So I thought that, well, I'll take one last run at this here for the next 10 years or so, and challenge myself. And the public piece of it was also important to me. That's a unique challenge in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Running a publicly held company, I love it. And I love all of our stakeholders, various constituencies, and all of the different things that you need to do to build the business and be a kind of company that can provide great value for shareholders as well as our internal stakeholders. So, which is a big part of what I believe publicly held companies are supposed to do. They're supposed to be able to serve all of their stakeholders efficiently. So we've been fortunate here at GMS, really, I think, to be able to do that.
Well, that's exciting. And what a great opportunity for sure. So, when you look at GMS, you guys are one of the largest interior distributors. What would you say makes you stand out? And what is the GMS mission?
Well, I mean, certainly scale. You talked about it first. I think that in this industry, scale is very important, because at the end of the day, you do need to be able to deliver solutions at a market rate or at a cost to the customer that's appropriate. And so scale is very important to be able to do that. Again, if I focus back on culture here, our mission actually is to create opportunities, to create deep relationships, and to deliver solutions. And so you can see that there's this intermix of what I would say very much a personal aspect to the business. We really want to know our customers. We want our customers to trust us. We want our customers to know that we have their backs, but we also want our suppliers to feel exactly that same way. We're trying to grow all the time. And it's important in a growth organization, I think, for suppliers to be able to count on us to do that for them, because of course they're trying to grow. So I feel like scale has been super important for our company. But I also think that just the commitment to superior service is absolutely the cornerstone of the business. We talk about always doing the right thing. We always say you can never go wrong doing the right thing. It's kind of a it's used a lot, I think, out in industry and in different, they paraphrase that a little bit. Maybe not everybody always believes in it, but it's absolutely core to us here. And that is that we'll do what our customers need us to do to help them be successful on their projects. That to me is the real secret, here. Of course we have product breadth, and we have more, we have a huge complementary business. We're doing almost $1.5 billion in complementary products outside of our 3 core products of wallboard, steel studs and ceiling systems. So, I think that's very important to our customer base also, that we can supply everything potentially that they may want us to supply to them and be committed to do it, which means we'll use our balance sheet. We'll hold the inventory that's necessary. And of course, suppliers love that as well, right? That they can count on us to be loaded up and ready to service the business.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, that's definitely a great statement and a great mission. And one of the things that you and I were talking about just over email before we even got on was about the state of the industry research that Walls and Ceilings has recently conducted. And one of the questions that we asked all of our contractors were the top 3 challenges that their businesses were facing, especially coming up in 2023. And what they said were 3 things. Number 1 was increased material costs. Number 2 were shortages. And 3 was lack of qualified workers. With all the resources that GMS offers, what do you do to help contractors combat these challenges?
Well, I guess let's touch on the material costs first,
Sure.
because inflation is certainly real. So our ability to provide product at an appropriate cost is first and foremost kind of how we view the business and what we understand we need to do to grow and maintain and grow and be the market share leader. So we understand that we have to be able to provide an upfront cost to the customer that allows them to earn projects as well. So we're very conscious of what the price of the product should be in the market. Now, beyond that, how do we help contractors with cost? We touched on it again, like you mentioned a little bit earlier. Our commitment to deliver and stock and scatter and run 1,500 boom trucks out into the marketplace is such that we're hoping that when our contractors get to the job, all they need to do is hang the materials, that they're not having to spend any time at all with their labor doing the stocking and the scattering of the materials on the job site. And we're very flexible as well. So if you need us there at 1 a.m. To do a commercial delivery, we do it. In almost every major metropolitan area in the country, we have a yard or 2 that are operating almost 24/7. So we'll do unique things like that. We'll be there on Saturdays. For our big national account home builders, this last year has been absolutely insane. And so we've been out on Saturdays, Sundays, and making deliveries and being there for our customers so we can keep their costs down as well. Obviously that's critical for them. And when you talk about lack of qualified labor, again, it's right back to the same thing. You don't need your qualified labor doing work that we can do for you. And so we're committed to make sure that that's not the case. When that qualified labor gets there, either hang the materials or finish those materials, we want to be sure that's all they have to do. And then we have to be super reliable in our promises as well, right? So we make promises, we keep those promises so that our customers know if we say we're going to be there Tuesday at 10 a.m., we're there at Tuesday at 9:59. We're there and doing what we said we would do.
Well, I think something else that you said earlier that is so fascinating to me is, and of course, very important to every contractor out there, especially when you're delivering a job, is how you place the product within the project, within the buildings, just to make sure that you're paying attention to the load that may happen in certain, different rooms or different areas of the building and the construction. How do you guys do that? How do you know? Like, do you have technology that you use when you're looking at the plans for a project and where you're setting down the product to make sure that it's going to be in a safe place?
Yeah, it's actually part of our safety training. So we are ultra safety conscious. It's one of our core values is to be safe every day and to make sure people go home every day, hopefully in better shape than they came in even in the morning. But part of our critical safety training is so that we teach our stock and scattering crews kind of the load bearing requirements in different types of commercial and residential applications. So as we stock and scatter and we leave materials out on projects, we're very cognizant of the weight of the product, where we stack the product, how safely we stack the product so that we don't have accidents on site with other contractors coming through and trying to move our materials around. So it's just critical. It's something we do from day one in all of our training for those teams. And we usually operate in teams, right? So we usually operate in teams of at least two, most of the time 3, and occasionally 4 per truck as we're out there making deliveries. So the whole team works together to ensure that we leave the project in a very, very safe manner.
Well, training is so important, especially safety. And I love to hear that that's one of your core values. And just speaking of training, it is something that is so important for contractors. And while you guys do internal training for your own employees, which of course is critical, but is there any type of training that you also offer contractors? And do you partner with manufacturers as well to do certain types of training?
We do a lot of training for our contractor base in a few unique areas that aren't core to a lot of them. We don't do a lot of wallboard hanging training or steel stud, installation training. Those things are core to our contractor base. But what we do as an example, we talked about Ames also before we got on here today, our relatively recent acquisition of the Ames taping tool business. We have an entire training organization at Ames that teaches contractors, finishing contractors, how to use automatic taping tools and how to be more efficient, but also how to have a fantastic finish faster. Right. So we do a lot of training there. We do that both here in Georgia, but we also have people out in the field that will do that, and they'll go and do that training on job sites, whether it be residential or commercial. We'll train our contractors teams out in the field. Additionally, ceiling systems, we're one of Armstrong's largest distributors. And so we have set up across the country, we have varying locations where we can train architects and designers actually on how to specify those ceiling systems. But then also in those same training centers, we also have it set up so that we can take down and install ceilings. So if there's something that's coming that's going to be a more complex application, particularly some of these architectural specialty ceilings now that are so complex, we have entire spaces where contractors can come and they can practice literally the installation, and then we'll take it out and we'll start another one the next week. So we do a lot of that type of activity. And then our complementary products, which I mentioned earlier as well, there's so many products there that require unique training as well, that we absolutely, mostly through manufacturer supported training for those complementary products, we'll facilitate seminars and sessions at our yards so contractors can come in and learn about those products.
Oh, that's awesome. So what do you have offer technology for contractors as a value proposition as they are working on their own projects?
Well, I think like everybody, we've been trying really, really hard, and I think we finally are successful as we speak. It's taken a long time to get here with our B2B e-commerce solution. So we have a fully integrated B2B e-commerce solution now. We call it direct e-commerce. And so everything from order entry through being able to pay your bill online is now available 24/7. And we have a lot of added features to that, where you can not just place the order, but even up front in front of that, you can check your inventory, you can get your pricing online. Once you've given us the order, you can check the status of that order, you can look at promise dates. As the order begins to move out and get delivered, our trucks are all fitted with satellite technology that's integrated into e-commerce as well, so that when we cross different geo zones, we can send alerts to project managers to say that as we promised, that load is on the road. And then as we leave that project space, they'll get another alert saying it's been delivered. And that project manager can literally go online right there from his phone and go see pictures of that product stocked and scattered on that individual job site. So they know that they can then schedule their crews. So we really worked hard to get here. It's been a long journey, and we're really here today. And that's really our focus, is our B2B focus. That's who we are. We are a B2B company. We're not a B2C company. So we're really focused on delivering that solution for that core contractor, who is our primary customer.
Oh, that's exciting to hear. It sounds like Uber. You can almost watch it on your phone. Like, where's the
You
truck
can,
going?
if you want to. When we do demonstrations at all the different shows or anywhere, whether it be our own expo or Aussie or other places, we're always demonstrating that, and it's fun to watch people watch trucks, drive on the maps, and they get excited about that. Now, how often they really need that is probably not every day, but when you do need it, it's nice to know that it's there. And we're certainly having a tremendous amount of uptake on using the system. So we have, tens of thousands of individual transactions now are going on every month, to the point now where we're actually, our accounts receivable, we're almost at 20% of our total accounts receivable being collected as online payments now through that system. So that's pretty amazing considering how much comes through other means as well. The largest contractors, the largest customers, right? They're paying their bills in a different way. So that service really fits that medium to small contractor who wants to pay their bills online. And so I'm excited about that, and we'll keep investing there because it's the future.
Oh, most definitely. And something, I mean, clearly it makes business so easy and smooth to be able to handle.
Absolutely.
So I guess as you look ahead, what's coming up for GMS? What's your outlook for 2023 and beyond?
Well, we're committed to a 4-pillar strategy that we're going to continue to focus on. Of course, we change and it mutates, every year a little bit as to what's inside those 4 pillars and the actions that we have to take. But we're going to continue to focus on growing our core business. It's our wallboard and our steel and our ceilings. But we're also going to continue to expand our footprint. And so that's a combination of greenfield and M&A. As you know, this business has been built through M&A over the last 50 years. And we'll continue to do that. We think we're really good at it. Each and every year we figure a way out how to acquire. And we're going to continue to do that as well as grow through greenfield. We've done 42 greenfields since I've been here. So it's been a pretty active greenfield environment as well. And then that complementary product that I talked about is a huge focus for us, continuing to drive that and make it a bigger part of our business, become more proficient at it. The more scale we develop there, the more specialization from a sales perspective we can offer, which provides us or provides our customers then with people that really are experts in everything that we do. That's our goal, is to be the expert in everything that we sell and do for our customers. And then you just touched on technology and best practices to both drive cost out of our business, but also to deliver superior service. Really, if you think about our e-commerce solution, which we just talked about extensively, that's all about delivering better service. That's all about being better for our customers. There are some back of house things, certainly from a cost perspective, but nowhere near the same impact as the service aspect for our customers. So that's kind of how we're going to run the business and keep running it. 2023 is going to be an interesting year for sure. We're seeing what everybody is seeing today, which is single family is going to, new single family in particular, is going to be, really challenged through probably at least what I would say is the middle part of the year to the end of the year. I think through the first quarter, there's still a lot of construction activity that's yet to be finished. But certainly for the balance of 2023, I think new single family construction is going to be really challenged. The offset to that, of course, is that multifamily looks fantastic. Commercial is continuing to recover, although very slowly. It's not a really robust recovery, and I think interest rates will probably be an issue that'll probably mute that recovery even a little bit more than it already has going forward. But we'll keep earning our customers' business through it all, and continuing to focus on those 4 key pillars. And then whatever happens with this slowdown, we'll be in even better shape coming out the other side. And I think that coming out the other side, we'll have a nice 4 to 5 year run because we continue to need housing in this country. There are some estimates 4.5 million houses short today. That's a number of years worth of construction right there. And then you can certainly see the housing crisis in the cities as well. So there's going to be this continued need for affordable housing. And I really think government is finally coming to the realization that, the supply side is what needs to be incentivized, not rent control, not things that make supply less, but actually doing things that create more supply in housing. So I think you're starting to see even states like California that traditionally have been really tough to get permitted. You're starting to see the government come around. Same thing in New York, same thing in Chicago. People are beginning to understand, hey, this is a supply problem that we need to help with. How that all comes together over the course of the next several years, I don't know, but it's good to see that there's actually politicians talking positively about the supply side of housing. And so I'm excited about whatever 2024, 2025, 2026, those should all be banner years. 2023 is
Right.
going to be an interesting year as we deal with this upcoming housing crisis, which is just a result of course, the increased interest rates and the inflationary environment that we're in, and having to get out of that inflationary environment, get us back into that 2%, 3%, 4% inflation.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how 2023 plays out. But so any exciting announcements that you'd like to make about any M&As coming up, or should we just have to like sit tight and wait and hear when the time's right?
Yeah, that might be one of the restrictions of being a publicly held company, and that I can't talk about it until it's finished, until it's happening. So it
Okay.
happened, but our track record is what it is, and people can see it, and we will continue down that path. So we have a bunch of great relationships out there. We call it our pipeline relationships with the existing owners or other companies, and I think that our culture is a fun culture to be a part of. Companies want to sell to us. They want their long-standing teammates and employees and family members to be part of something that's special. And so I think as an acquirer, we're a preferred acquirer in that respect. So I think nothing but great times ahead.
Most definitely. Well, I really appreciate your time, JT. It's always an honor to speak with you. And if anybody has any questions though for GMS, what's the website? Where do people go to find out more?
Well, so it's gms.com, not difficult at all. So, www.gms.com is where you go, and you can click either on our investor relations tab, or you can click on the tab simply to ask questions as well. If you want to ask something, the website itself is fairly comprehensive. And of course, my email is pretty easy as well, j.turner@gms.com. So I'm happy to answer questions directly as well.
Oh, well, that's fabulous. Well, again, thank you so much for your time, JT, and we really appreciate it. It's been an honor. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our free e-newsletters. It's free to register for our website, so you can always stay up to date with great interviews and content and nuggets of information that we're getting today, like from JT. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon.